In the early days, Matt had always had this itch to kind of create things or invent things. He is a machinist by trade, but like at heart, he's an inventor and an engineer. His genius really is in designing the products. We were seeing what was happening with 3D printers, that they were coming down into the consumer market, and it was just really exciting to see people have access to that technology. And we thought maybe we could do that with milling. We could see how huge the gap was between somebody who's just trying to make something with a 3D printer and somebody who's doing like really sophisticated aerospace parts. And so we really liked the idea of just doing what we could to close that gap.
I had always wanted to make my own little machine and started designing our own. I think it was cool because there were so many people iterating on these technologies for 3D printing and water jetting and stuff at the same time, so that it was rapidly growing. I think the opportunity was just taking that technology and putting it into our own design.
So we started out with a 3-axis machine, and Matt brought the design to me and asked me what I thought, and it was kind of ugly. and so he kind of went back to the drawing board.
I was just sweeping floors at a company, just waiting to get a turn in the machine shop, and I was emptying the trash one day when I realized I think it would be better for us if we went with 5-axis. And I'd put some thought into it, but I also had put some thought into how Michelle would be ticked about deleting the design one more time. After some thinking, she agreed, and we went to 5-axis.
I was pretty hesitant at first just because it seemed like such a big challenge, but we could see that there was other 3-axis machines coming into the marketplace. So we moved to 5-axis and started working on that. When we first decided to work on 5-axis, it was nerve-wracking, but we were also still working at our day jobs. When it started to get more stressful was when we were actually deciding to leave our jobs, and we started, to think like, are we sort of crazy for doing this? Are there actually people out there who are going to buy it? That was where it was nerve-wracking, but the potential of it was also pretty exciting.
After we decided to go 5-axis, we started to prototype, and I think we built maybe 2 or 3 machines, and then we took the second or the third design to a maker fair just to kind of see how people would respond to the machine.
And when we went to Maker Faire in 2013, I think that we kind of came out of nowhere, and people were like, who are these people with this little 5-axis machine, and where did they come from? We came from our garden shed. But we just got such a good response that we were like, okay, there is a market for this. There are people who are interested in buying it. And so we just kind of went for it.
We had this moment where we were like, yeah, we can do this. And a lot of people are pretty excited about this, but to them, the product felt finished, and to us, it felt like taped together. So we knew we had a lot of iteration to go before we could sell them these machines.
So we left our jobs, we moved back to Montana, moved in with my in-laws. It took longer to get the machine to market from that point than we would have liked to. We thought we were closer than we were. And so those were the days that could be kind of discouraging.
I think the big hurdle getting to market from the prototype to a production unit was just making sure that you actually had a product that people could actually use. Designing that human element into the assembly processes and bringing the whole machine together and all the fragile aspects of it was a big hurdle getting to market.
Eventually we did move into a house that had a garage, and we could kind of start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we also could see the money draining out of our bank account, that there just wasn't an infinite amount of time to make it happen. But it still felt like we were so close. Like, as much as there was times that seemed like maybe we should just call it quits, that next step it still felt like if we can just get through this next step, then we can keep taking steps and get there.
The Kickstarter was a pretty cool experience for us because we were able to launch this idea without having to take a bunch of individual orders and figure all of that process out, but build a massive number of machines and do that for all these individuals out there.
We met our goal in the first hour, and within about the first week, we had sold out of the machines that we were offering for the campaign. So it was really exciting to see all of those people who we had been talking with over the years actually come out and support us in the Kickstarter campaign, because we just didn't know if that would happen or not. So it was validating for what we were doing and really gave us a good start. So as we were wrapping up the Kickstarter campaign, we moved out of the garage and into a shop. We hired a few employees and started to look more like a real business. So it continued to be that one step at a time of figuring out not just how to do things, but how to do things better. That's been a big growth process for us over the years, is figuring out how to assemble machines in a way that is consistent and reliable, how to train people to be able to do their jobs well, how to support them as leaders. There's been a lot of learning that we've had to do, and it does feel like now is the point in time when we're feeling like we're ready to level up. One thing that has really enabled us to be able to take it to the next level is that over the past 10 years, we've gradually been adding people to our team who are really capable and can fill in a lot of those gaps. In the early days when it was just Matt and Michelle in the garden shed, we have real limitations of what we're capable to do. And now we've filled in a lot of those holes in our team. And so it's really exciting to see people come and join us and contribute to what our vision is.
Working with Michelle is pretty interesting and fun. Here you have somebody who has your best interest at heart, like every day of the week. You can come to this person with creative ideas, and you know that even though they probably disagree with you, they have your best interest at heart. It's also been amazing having somebody who's your biggest cheerleader and is willing to invest millions of dollars in your ideas just because they believe in what you can do and your approach, and that you have something special, which has been totally awesome and surreal.
It's exciting to work with Matt. Having someone else on the team that understands me the way he does, I know that he's always going to be on my side. I'm just really thankful for that we get to do this together, and we've definitely learned how to work together better over the years. I'm really glad that I have the skill set that I do. Being able to be organized and make the rest of the process flow around what the products are is kind of what my job is. Taking it from like Matt's desk as the final prototype to shipping out thousands of machines, and to be able to take those ideas and his designs and make it into something that can actually have an impact in the world. I am really proud of just the impact that we make outside of the company. I'm excited to see whenever machines are going into schools, just to know that students are getting to actually use the machines as opposed to maybe just watching a demonstration happening on the one expensive machine that they have. It's always exciting to see entrepreneurs trying to start something and our machine being a part of their process.
Pretty excited about the future because we have this culmination of all these great ideas and all this research and development, and now we're going to get to bring it to our users so that they've got this machine that they can put on their desk and make one or make 1,000 little parts. And to me, that's what's exciting.